Hey there, this is Rare Elvis Photos, hoping you're having a wonderful day today. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit all notifications, share this video around, and become a member if you can. This won't be the longest video, somewhere around 4 minutes, but I wanted to have a discussion a little bit about Elvis's girlfriends. That way you can watch it and still get on to watching other videos. Priscilla Presley, that's June Wanico right there. But, you know, before Elvis Presley was married to Priscilla Presley, and before he dated Barbara Hearn and June Wanico, and Anita Wood, and all the other girlfriends that Elvis Presley had prior to, and lovers that Elvis had prior to marrying Priscilla, Elvis Presley was smitten so much by a girlfriend when he was a teenager, before he moved to Memphis, that he actually married her. Let me explain that. So here's the story of how it came to be. Elvis Presley and Mary Magdalene Morgan were boyfriend-girlfriend in East Tupelo, and Magdalene, met Elvis at the Assembly of God Church. She actually went to school with Elvis as well, and of course she remembers that he sang and picked the guitar, and she played piano. She was the church pianist when she was about 8 or 9 years old, so there was that musical connection right there. So they were also always in Christmas plays together at the church. She always played opposite of Elvis, so if he was a wise man, she was an angel. Another time he was Joseph, and she was Mary. So she remembers that he was just my ideal guy. He was very pleasant, very polite. He didn't talk a whole lot. Elvis was kind of embarrassed a lot. He didn't like crowds. And he talked to her if they were by themselves, like when her mother would go visit the Presley home, which they did because Gladys and her mom were best friends. So she also remembers that she attended a couple birthday parties for Elvis, and he and her would sing. They would hold hands and talk. They'd go for walks in the woods and behind his house, and they would talk about what he wanted to be when he grew up. And even back then, between the ages of 10 and 13, he wanted to be a singer. And he wanted to marry someone that would have to be a lot like his mama. So there's that connection still back then. So they were just 10, 11, 12 up there, and he was, what she said, he was my little guy. So at the time, they were really young, and, she didn't really expect their life to go anywhere without Elvis, because, he was her man. And she was right there when he sang his very first song on WELD radio. The station was downtown on Spring Street, not above the black and white store. It's been written often. Here's a picture of Mary Magdalene and Elvis. You might remember that picture coming up and not really recognizing who that is. So anyways, Elvis and Magdalene dated all the way from 5th grade to the beginning of 7th grade. And they kissed 3 times. Elvis carved her name into a tree, carved her name into the house. And, they expected to be together. They're just young love. And it tragically really hit Elvis when they had to move. And he actually filled out a marriage certificate and put her name on it. And she found out about this later on in life. And she never knew anything about it. But that's how much Elvis was smitten by this girl. And here's the certificate right here. It was filled out September 11th, which is actually the day that they moved to Memphis. Now, obviously, years later, Elvis met Priscilla in Germany, and he was smitten with her as well because she reminded him so much of his mother. But maybe deep down, he was trying to replace Mary Magdalene. And, of course, Elvis and Susan were lovers there. But long before that, he was smitten with Mary. So, interestingly enough, she had seen him again when he came back to Tupelo. He came into a place she was working, and they sat down and talked for a while. And then when he was in Hollywood filming movies, she had moved out to California. And she called the studios trying to get a hold of Elvis and was getting the runaround. And finally, she was like, I went to school with him, went to church with him. And then she went home after a shift, and she found that Elvis did try to call her about 30 minutes after she left. So that's the story of Elvis Presley and Mary Magdalene Morgan, Elvis's first wife. He, with intention, put her name on this marriage certificate that was actually initially Vernon and Gladys's marriage certificate. Now, I know that some of you will have heard about this. Who hasn't heard about this? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. And let me know if there was somebody in your life when you were young that you felt this way for, that you just felt for sure you were going to be with them, but you never were. This is Rare Elvis Photos, wishing you a wonderful day. TCB TLC till next time.